Okay, everybody. Good afternoon. And we're going to be talking about something today that I almost never talk about on this channel because I don't really have much of anything to do with it. And for the most part, I don't care. We're going to talk a little bit about Madden. Madden is not something that I play. Madden is not something that I'm into anymore. I used to play it a lot when I was much younger, and the games were a lot better, but Madden sucks now. And because of that, I don't play it, and I don't particularly feel any kind of need to talk about it even when they do things that don't make sense. But I got to be honest with you guys. And if you guys have been following along at all, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is egregious. This is so egregious, I'm actually going to make a video about it. And then I'm going to encourage everybody watching this video to go play a better video game. This video is sponsored by Prize Picks. So Madden has been releasing all their ratings information over the last couple of days, both team and player. And yeah, again, usually I don't care about this kind of stuff, but this year is so egregious that I got to talk about it. And this kind of goes hand in hand with some of the other videos I've made this offseason about how this Seahawks team is not getting their flowers for what they pulled off last season. And I know it's a new season, but that's just another reason to kind of expound on what I'm talking about here. This team did not change that much. And look, like I said, Madden is stupid, but they shouldn't be this stupid. So let's take a look at some things here. First, let's just start at the top. So the highest rated teams in Madden 27, this is their top 10. They got the Rams, they got the Eagles at the top, which that's what ESPN had. Remember, ESPN did a article ranking every team by their starting roster, and the Rams and Eagles were in first place and second place. But if you'll remember that article, the Seahawks came in third. And that was about the most congratulatory thing I've seen all offseason about the Seahawks. But here, you have to go all the way down to number 10 here. By the way, they misspelled our name, which is kind of embarrassing. This is the official Madden X account, by the way. Like, they literally misspelled our team name. So that's bad. But 84 overall, tied with the Kansas City Chiefs, who won, was it either 6 or 7 games last year? Behind teams like the Patriots, Niners, Bills, Broncos, Ravens. Are we sure that Ravens team is really all that stacked with talent? Like they didn't look like it for most of last season, and the idea is this year they got a better coach, but man, I mean, this team did win the Super Bowl last year, right? I am remembering that correctly. And there hasn't really been that much changed. So picking them at number 10, wild work. So we got that. And I understand that Madden doesn't always translate to real life on a one-to-one scale, but the goal of Madden is to be a at least somewhat accurate sim of football. It's not an arcade game. So when I look at something like this, I can't help but think to myself, man, what am I not picking up here? What did we do this offseason to get this much worse? Because I want to reiterate, last year this team didn't just win the Super Bowl. They went 14-3, got the 1 seed, and 2 of their playoff games were decisive. One of them was a blowout. And look, they also did the top 10 offenses. And look, I don't know if the Seahawks should be here. Like, I look at the Cowboys being ranked at 10th. Are we a better offense than the Cowboys? Probably not. So, okay, but the defense? We're 10th defensively in Madden, way behind the top teams. This is insanity. All right, guys, let's take a quick break here to talk a little bit about Prize Picks, currently the #1 sports pick app in America. The app is very easy to use. Check it out to my left here. You can do player picks, where you just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. Or you can pick teams, where you pick winners, spread, or total on any game or fight. The app is available in most states, including California, Texas, and Florida. Right now, they have a great offer. You can play your first $5 lineup and get $150 in lineups if you win. All you have to do is use code HMA when you sign up. It's a brand new offer. Best time possible to get on the app. So get on over there and get to winning that first lineup. So remember, Prize Picks, code HMA. Download the app today, and remember to always gamble responsibly. Like, look at this list. First of all, this list doesn't make a lot of sense to me on the face of it. Like, Houston's down at 5. I don't really understand that one. The Steelers are at number 6, same ranking as the Texans, but Seahawks at 10. Just a reminder, this Seahawks team had the number 1 defense in football last year by most metrics, like DVOA and points allowed per game, and they lost a couple of pieces, but they didn't lose any of their main stars. So to say that they're the 10th best defense in football or 10th ranked by Madden ratings seems like somebody just forgot something. Like, we don't have as good a defense as the Lions. And I know the Lions had a lot of injuries last year. I understand that. Same with the 49ers, who are, well, they're effectively tied with us at 9 with the 82 overall. But even without injuries, that Niners defense, there's not a lot going on in the middle. And their secondary has a bunch of good players, but does it have any elite ones? I don't think so. So this is this feels like it can't be right. And then you get into the individual players. Now, Sam Darnold was not ranked in the top 10 highest graded quarterbacks, which, okay, sure, especially in a game like Madden. I can understand that. I can get behind that a little bit. I don't think Jared Goff should be in the top 10 either, but I don't know. Like, there's a couple other guys you could throw in here, especially for the purposes of Madden, that would make sense more than Darnold, and I wouldn't object to it. And then you get to running backs and wide receivers. Now, we don't have a running back, sure. Our lead running back hasn't played in the NFL yet. Wide receiver, okay, JSN, one of the 99 club. By the way, this was like the only really notable positive call out by Madden for the Seahawks this entire shipment. JSN was a 99 overall, second only to Jamar Chase at the position, so we got that going for us. So apparently that's what you have to do in order to get some respect from Madden, break virtually every franchise record. Tight end, you don't have a tight end in the top 10, which, yeah, okay, sure. Not against that. Same with the offensive line. Don't have a guy in the top 10 of the offensive line rankings. Okay. Although, that being said, though, I saw something, and I didn't confirm if this is true or not, but I did see something. Apparently, Gray Zabel's rating went down from last year. Last year it was 79, now it's 75. So maybe Madden just reconfigured their formula. But if that's meant to reflect where they view the players across multiple years, that's, I mean, think about how little sense that makes. Think about how completely backwards it is to have a rookie who has a successful but ultimately bumpy rookie season coming back the next year and having his rating go down by 4 points when he played his best football for the most part at the end of the season. So even if we shouldn't have a player in the top 10, which we probably shouldn't, that just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, what are we doing here? And then you get to the defense, and this is where things really get egregious. This is the top 10 defensive tackles. There are no Seahawks on here. No Leonard Williams, who, by the way, was voted by coaches, scouts, GMs as the best defensive tackle, interior defensive lineman, whatever, in football. The best. Not even top 10. Madubuke, who did he even play football last year, is ranked higher than that. Dexter Lawrence, who looks like he weighs 500 pounds, is in 6th. What are we doing? And, of course, no Byron Murphy. That doesn't surprise me so much because I think the league hasn't figured out how good he is yet. He's got to do it for one more year, but no Leonard Williams is insanity. And that's the main reason why I made this video. It's one thing for players like a Sam Darnold or a Charles Cross to get overlooked and not ranked in the top 10 list because that's not unfair. That's not unreasonable. But this is insanity, man. I don't even know what to say about this. This cannot be right. And by the way, Schefter posted this tweet a little bit ago going over some of the other positions. Edge rusher, we don't have anybody, which to be expected, and this are almost certainly correct. So that's fine. Linebacker, though, no Ernest Jones. And look at the guys they do have here. They have Dre Greenlaw, who got cut by the Broncos in the offseason. They got Bobby Wagner, who's not on a team. But Ernest Jones, who made All-Pro, and had six really interceptions last year, and was the primary catalyst for the number one defense in football and the team that won the Super Bowl, or, well, maybe not catalyst, but he was their leader on the field. And you're putting a guy who isn't even on a team right now ahead of him? Again, it just can't be right. We finally get a little something at cornerback here, but Devin Witherspoon didn't even make their top five. They've got 5 players ahead of Devin Witherspoon. They put him at a 91 overall, 6th ranking, which, I mean, that's not bad or anything. I don't think it's terribly far off, but they couldn't even find room in the top 5 for him. Like, what's Denzel Ward doing here at this point? Is Denzel Ward even that great anymore? He's got the concussion issues. He's 29. The coverage numbers have slipped the last 2 years. I think we're a little behind the 8 ball here. I think we're a little bit behind the times talking about him as a top 4 corner. And safety, now this one I kind of understand because on some level, the only guy we could have here is Julian Love, and Julian Love missed half the season last year, but I have to acknowledge that I think Julian Love, when healthy, is a top 10 safety in the league. If not, he's very close. So somehow, some way, the team that had the top defense in football last year, I want to reiterate that, the number one defense in football last year that won the Super Bowl has only one player ranked in the top 10 at their position on defense. And it's Devin Witherspoon, who was 6th at corner. That's really what pushed me to make this video. Like, you can agree to disagree on some stuff, but there's no way we're doing that here. Like, this is just unawareness of what is going on a football field. And look, if this is going to be the ratings they ship with, because I know the game comes out in like 2 weeks, Mike Macdonald better be the highest rated coach in the history of Madden to justify this. Because if we won the Super Bowl last year with this little talent, I mean, think about it like this. The Seahawks had 1 or 2 players on these lists. They had JSN, right? Or yeah, JSN, and they had Devin Witherspoon. Nothing else. If this team is able to win the Super Bowl like they did last year, and that's all they have in terms of elite players, then Mike Macdonald must be the greatest who ever did it. And by the way, in the for the sake of fairness, just to point out that they do have Ken Walker listed at 9, and he was obviously on the team last year. By the way, I feel like every position ranking always puts Ken Walker at 9. It feels like that's always where he is. But regardless, yeah, you better give Mike Macdonald like the highest rating you've ever given a coach, because that guy must be an absolute wizard for us to do what we do. And all that being said, having said all of that, go play a better video game anyway, guys, because it's Madden. Go play, I think Xenoblade 2 just remastered a couple days ago. Go play that. I think there's a Lies of P expansion pack or something coming out soon. Go play Grand Theft Auto 6 later this year when it comes out. We're getting Persona 4 Revival next year, right after the Super Bowl. Go play a different game. That's what I'm trying to get at here, guys. Madden sucks. And this is just another reason why it sucks. It sucks anyway, but this, I'm sorry, I had to call this one out because this is insanity. Like, teams regress. I understand that. Teams fade, teams get worse, other teams get better. But you can't even spell our name right? Okay. So hopefully I don't look stupid later making this video, and hopefully we do have that great season that justifies what I'm saying, but yikes. All right, see you guys later. Go Hawks.